Right guys, I thought I'd just show you what I've been up to. Obviously you can see I've removed some wooden panels from the garage conversion. So what I've decided to do, I'll just show you quickly what I've been up to. I've got these makeshift shelves you can buy from like IKEA or online or whatever, and I've decided I want to put some shelving on the walls and get rid of these units because they're in the way. So as you can see, I've pulled out a load of insulation that's been glued on. I didn't glue the rest of it, it's just this little area I did. So what we're going to do is get rid of all the insulation here, and we're going to put some more posts in like I've got here, guys. You can see one there. If we go over here, you'll see one that's exposed, obviously there. And if you're wondering, obviously I've had the door installed, so that's the door it's been installed. So yeah, what we're doing at the moment is getting rid of the insulation at the moment, and I'm going to put a new post in like that, which will give me a third layer of support for the shelving when I put it up. I'm getting a modular design, so basically you'll have a metal corridor going down there, there and there, and we can basically get some you know, supports for the actual shelves themselves that'll just slot in. But I just wanted to show you my process in terms of doing extra support. And if you found you didn't use enough battens like I've done on this wall, I ain't had enough, as obviously you can see, you know, there's big spaces. You can always take the wood off like I've done here, put a batten in and put it back on, and then you've got some extra support. So if you think you haven't used enough battens for your garage in terms of insulation, let's say some of the wood has started to bow. I know it's a bit of a mess in here, but let me just sort of discuss that. So on here, this panel was bowing, and what I had to do was glue it to the insulation and brace it with a piece of wood on the other side of the garage. However, if you put more battens in, you're not going to have that problem. But then again, more battens means a lot more work. So, you know, just remember that if you're trying to do something quickly, it's sometimes better to put the time in. So yeah, what we're doing, we're putting battens in, another one here for the shelving, and obviously you can see on this wall I'm going to do the same. We're going to put obviously two more battens, one there, one there. But I just wanted to show you what I'm up to. Right, so I've just got rid of that foam adhesive which was sticking, and unfortunately it seems to be a bit of a gap down here, so I'm not sure how that's happened. But what I'm going to do is obviously fit my batten here, and then it'll support the shelf. Right guys, I thought I'd just show you the brackets in more detail. So basically what you're doing is you're taking out the bolts out that were already in there that were quite short, and you're just putting a longer one in, and then you get two of these brackets. Let me see if I've got some over here. You can see right, that's another bracket I've bent. What you're doing is you're getting one of these straight brackets, put it in your vise, hit it with a hammer to bend it a little bit, and that gives you your angle. So what we're going to do obviously is put a piece of wood here and a batten there, and I'll show you what I mean. If we go over here, as you can see, got a piece of wood that moves it slightly over, and then you attach it all. I obviously got one of these on both sides, and that's what it looks like. But I just wanted to show you more or less how you construct it. So quite often a lot of these panels come with like wooden dowels in the actual panel. I didn't actually know this until recently, but you can put a bolt in there like they've done here. The only problem when you do that is it's got the ability to rock side to side. With this, it keeps it central and steady. So I thought I'd just show you that. Right guys, thought I'd just show you. Here I've basically bolted it in place and it's nice and tight. Have a look at this side as well. And come down here. As you can see, it's nice and secure and tight. So obviously what I'm going to do is I'm going to form in around it, and then we can use that as our third support, because obviously we've got one support there, one support there, and one support there, and this will be a nice good foundation for basically putting some shelves up. So as you can see, we've got these loose shelves here and here. Getting rid of those will give us more space. So I'll have my desk, workshop bench here, and then obviously some shelving above it. But I just wanted to show you what you can do with a bit of creativity. And obviously this is an ongoing project with the conversion of the garage. As you can see, I've done a nice job over there. We're going to do something over here as well. Right, everyone. So now I've formed it in around the new support beam that we've put in for our shelving. As you can see, I've actually had to basically cut a lot of this, the expanding foam out, because a lot of it does bubble out. So what I basically did is use a bread knife like I've got down here, and I've cut a lot of it out. So we're reasonably flat and level now. Another thing that I thought it was important to share is I've done a section along here, cut out in the foam and the wood all the way along. The reason for that is I'm going to put a bead of cement all the way along where the concrete panels join with the floor. Now unfortunately the garage company didn't do a very good job, and I didn't actually realise this after the fact. I'd done my conversion and thought, oh crap, I should have really put an angled 45-degree amount of cement going around to keep the water out, because that is an issue. I get water penetration around here, and I keep thinking, where's the water coming from? Thinking it's the roof that could be leaking. Now, while there is a gap up there, you can see light coming through. I believe they've just, that's silicone they've put on there. But there just seems to be a bit of a breeze coming through, which I think is the actual garage door itself. They don't do a very good job of sealing the garage doors, if I'm honest with you, leave gaps. So essentially what I need to do is first of all get this lot cleaned out, and then hopefully you can see quite low there, but I need to really put a bit of cement going around. So that's what we're going to do next. But this is going to be the ongoing project of putting some shelving up basically. So right guys, just a little tip for you really. Get some matchsticks. If you want to re-drill something, and clearly obviously you may have stripped some of the wood, what you can do is put some matchsticks in the holes and then hit it with a hammer. So yeah, just hit it with a hammer in, just like I've done over here and here, and then just get a chisel and take some of that wood off. It's a quick way of getting repositioned on the actual screw. Right guys, so I thought I'd just talk you through how to place your columns. So once you put your first one in, all you do is screw the top one in, and obviously just put one screw in, and then you use your level like so, and make sure the bubble is in the middle. Once you've done that, draw a line Once you've drawn your line, all you have to do is put this up by the line so it's level. Obviously make sure it's straight as well, using the bubble on your spirit level. Do the same on your third one if you've got a third one, obviously. And that's essentially how you get those straight. And if I pop one of these straight pieces of metal I've got on, as you can see, it's nice and level and straight. And that's all you need to do. So essentially I thought I'd just show you that. So just to recap, we've got some wood, and I'm just going to place the wood on here, make sure it's the right length, and then put the new pieces of wood on, and I'll show you that when I've sorted that out next. Right guys, as you can see, I don't know if you can tell in the video, I've drilled a hole a few centimetres up right into the void where I put that cement. The idea is we're going to put the foam inside that void, and I thought it'd be easier doing that than pulling the actual wood off. So here, can of foam, and all I need to do really is obviously you shake the can up, and then stick that in there, and then we'll form it in. So that's the idea anyway. So let me just shake that can up quite a bit. And let's form in inside. Now if the foam is filling the void, what will happen is the foam will start to travel down both directions and fill the void in with foam. I thought it'd be easier to do that than obviously take the plywood off and then try and figure out a way of putting it in without it overspilling. And any sort of foam that will obviously come out of here, because obviously there'll be too much in there, will either seep down into the bottom and come out, or just come out of that gap, or one of the other gaps that I've done. So let me get on with it. Right, so I've just formed it in. As you can see, some of it is seeping out, but that's the whole idea of it really, just to fill in that void. And there you go really. Once that's gone off, I should get some support for the beam that's here, beam that's there, beam that's there as well. As you can see, the foam has expanded as time has gone on, trying to get through any nooks and crannies that it can. And as you can see, it's literally filled in that void pretty much. It's hard to see, I know, because you can't see, but as you can see, I think it's done a fairly reasonable job. Right guys, I thought I'd just show you what I've done here. So I've got 3 shelves fully installed, using those metal brackets as you can see underneath there. So I thought I'd just show you it installed now, using those 3 battens in, obviously attached to the concrete blocks via bolts basically. So yeah, it seems sturdy enough and it'll do the job. Let's go back a bit. I know it's a bit dark, but you should be able to get a gist of it. So essentially I'm going to replicate this over here, and we'll have about 4 on the wall there. It's all about tidying it up a bit more, and then like I've said in previous videos, we're going to frame this whole area with wood and insulate it, and then put some plywood like we've done over there. I know it looks a mess at the moment because literally I've been doing tons of things, trying to figure things out, and then obviously I'll consider what I'm doing with these. I may keep one of them and just cut them down so one of them can fit here, because I'm going to put my workbench that's over here, on here, just underneath. And then obviously we've got these nice secure shelves to put our stuff on, basically. So I thought I'd just show you more or less how it looks. So I hope these videos have been helpful for you. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. I may do another Q&A session. I've already done one on the majority of the conversion on the inside here. So go and check out those videos. There's lots of interesting, informative information about how I've done this. Including, look, I put a new window in. We've got dimmer lights, we've got pool lights, as well as some normal dining room lights. We've got a heater over there. It's just a convent standard radiator type thing. Obviously lots of pool cues, snooker cues, different sizes, as you can see over here. I do like to collect different types as well. So keep tuned for further videos, guys. Hopefully you find these videos interesting. It's a bit different to my normal forte, which is normally technology stuff and photography. However, I think we're getting there. So the main question is, what do I do about the garage door? Because obviously we can insulate if need be. But what I'm thinking about doing is just getting some polystyrene blocks and just blocking the whole wall with blocks, and make it in such a way that it's removable, so you can remove the blocks away if you want to open the garage door. You see, this is the whole idea. I want to be non-destructive with securing the insulating the entire garage. Literally, this garage is insulated properly. You know, we've got various Kingspan and other types of insulation board that's been installed in the roof. Some have asked about ventilation. I don't really have any ventilation. It's not something I really thought about. However, that being said, maybe we may do something in the back. I could potentially cut a small hole at the top and put some sort of ventilator thing in there to give a bit of ventilation. But I know it's a bit of a mess, guys. Just bear with me, it just takes time. But hopefully we'll get this garage sorted. Obviously you can see I finally got the garage door. It took me 6 months to get this installed. I've done a recent video where you can see it being installed. I'll be honest with you, I'd probably suggest going to a different garage confirm than Denton garages. You know, they want the fastest of service, if I'm honest with you, and it didn't really seem that you know, in that much of an urgency to get it installed. So you know, that's just one mute point, I suppose. But as for the rest of it, the only challenge I've got is figuring out how to frame this with wood, because I've got nothing to attach it to apart from possibly attaching it to these battens here, and when I put another batten there, attach it to that as well and try and lock it in place tightly. Obviously we'll have expanding foam, and just to talk about this expanding foam, it's actually quite good for locking things in and securing things. It's quite rigid, it's really strong, and if you want something to reinforce your battens that you're putting in, you can't go wrong with this stuff. Obviously you can use other types of insulation, stuff like loft insulation, but it's very, well, it's not rigid, it's very loose. It comes in rolls. So yeah, I think my idea for creating it, you know, obviously to finish this off, is we're going to basically put a frame going round attached to the various sides that I can do, and it's coming along. It's a long project, guys. I know it takes time, these things, A lot of you have reached out and asked me how you do it, and thank you for the videos. You're more than welcome. The reason I do these vlogs on my garage conversion is because there's very little information out there on how to do it, so that's why I do them, really. Anyway, keep tuned for future videos, guys.